Welcome to the Power Hour. This is the Tony Espo Show.
Hey guys, once again, thanks for tuning in to the Tony Espo Show. This is episode 4, and today I have Vex Dronjak, a very good friend with me.
What's up, guys? What's up?
I'll let you introduce yourself to the crowd, the audience, and kind of let them know who you are and what you're doing.
Right.
And we'll take it from there.
All right, bet. So yeah, hey guys, my name is Vex. I came here from Europe, from Serbia. I did college here in New York Film Academy, and right now I'm pursuing a career in film producing as well as film directing. Me and Anthony know each other for a long time, and we did a lot of works together, production-wise, photography-wise, event-wise, real estate-wise.
What's it been, about 5 years now?
Yeah, about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
No, it was like 2018, like in New Year's I think we met, 2017-18, now it's 2022.
Time goes by quick.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
It's been a wild ride, Tony, it's been a wild ride.
Yeah, so we do a lot of great things together when it comes to work, when it comes to outside of work, having fun. And Vex is doing a lot of amazing things, so I really wanted to bring him onto the show. He's from Europe, which is very, empowering and motivating and inspiring to a lot of people that want to come out here to LA to pursue whatever they're trying to pursue. And one of those things that you're trying to do what you are doing is pursuing filmmaking.
Right.
And can you tell us a little bit?
Don't pursue filmmaking now.
What I like to tell people is that you shouldn't say you're an aspiring something. You need to tell people that you are something. Because once you say that you're an aspiring filmmaker, aspiring actor, that kind of says that you're not doing something, but that you're just thinking about doing something.
Right.
Do you think?
No, I agree. Yeah, definitely.
And so you moved out here to pursue filmmaking.
Yeah.
Now, why Los Angeles? Why did you come to Hollywood? Why Los Angeles? Instead of just doing filmmaking, pursuing filmmaking in Europe, in Serbia, where you're from?
Well, to be honest, the filmmaking in my country, it is good, but it's very small, and I really didn't find myself there, to be honest. And I wanted to come out here because it's the film capital of the world. I've never been to Los Angeles, so I want to explore it too.
Right.
So I did a film camp here, and I liked it, and I decided I want to do a college here, but I was stuck between choosing this college that I got accepted to in Florida and here. But because it's a film capital, it's Hollywood, I wanted to come here, because of building connections and my career and all that, I felt like it was a smarter move than just going to Florida, and then because it's totally on the other side of the United States.
Right. And before you moved out here, you actually came out here to visit first, right?
Yeah. So I did a summer camp here, and it was for 6 weeks. It was like a film hands-on experience summer camp, and it was decent. I shot in Universal backlots a couple of times. It was nice, and that's my experience, small experience doing high school.
Is that what really motivated you, kind of inspired you?
No, I was always I was motivated since I was 7-8 years old.
Okay.
To come here and to do films.
Okay.
So that was just an experience. It was okay, cool. It's not as bad, and I like it, so might as well go for it.
So you're saying that Hollywood is Hollywood. It's better than a lot of countries, and so a lot of foreign students, international students, come to Los Angeles to pursue filmmaking.
It's full of druggies and sex freaks.
And that's, and then eventually after learning the skills of what they're trying to pursue, they end up going back to their country, a lot of them, right?
See, that's a problem. For example, I know a lot of people from my school, from college, who are most of them international, right? And after they graduated, they're so now what? And that's why most of them stuck within their own circle in the college, with friends. It is totally fine, but at some point you need to kind of spread your horizons and make connections outside of the school and really get to know the industry and really get to know how the machinery of the film industry works in this town and how everything's interconnected and who knows who and stuff,
Right.
So you can kind of start playing the game, because if you don't, and when you graduate from school, you're gonna be dealing with like, okay, so how do I stay here? I need to be an OPT, or so now what, this and that, like a bunch of other things come at you, and you're not prepared, and you don't have connections, you don't know anybody here, and you're probably gonna end up going home. And that's why I kind of realized at the very beginning, and I'm like, okay, cool, I just need to do something outside of school, you know, so I get to know the city for the city.
And we met at New York Film Academy, which is where I got my master's degree while he was getting his bachelor degree.
Yeah, that's true.
And now you're getting your master's degree.
Yeah.
Right? And I've been graduated now for a few years. Did a lot of work together and stuff, which was great.
Yeah.
So Vex, everyone calls you Vex.
Oh boy.
How did you get that name? Because
no,
do you want to tell everybody what your real name is?
Yeah. So my real name is Veljko, but because my real name is Veljko, it's really hard to pronounce for English-speaking people. Like, for example, the letter L, it's non-existent, so it's really hard to pronounce. And I remember when I was younger, you know, people sometimes used to refer me because Veljko, then V, then Vex, you know, for short. I'm like, let's just go with that. Like, it's easy and it's catchy and easy for people to remember and for people to say. So I'm like, okay,
you know, if you say your name is Veljko, the ladies might like that a little bit better than Vex.
Yeah, maybe. You know.
It's kind of.
I think I should start saying it.
Yeah,
all right.
Gives a little bit of European touch.
All right, nice. Well, we go to Vegas in like a couple of hours, so
that's true.
I'm gonna start saying it there.
Test it out.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So why the movie industry? So you said that LA and Hollywood obviously has the best schools and stuff for learning filmmaking. So you moved out here, but why the movie industry? How did you start getting interested in the movie industry? Out of everything else in the world that you could possibly be doing?
I mean, I just, the thing is that I hated working like a 9-to-7 job. It was like I can't do that. Like, I cannot be forced to work and do something that, I don't want to do. And like, film is something that I want to do. I want to tell stories, and it's exciting for me. It's exciting to do film. It's adventurous, have all these different stories to tell. And to meet all kinds of people, and it's really a journey. It's really the experience that I want to have. It's an exciting experience, and just working another job, I don't see myself being fulfilled. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. That's why I want to do film.
Now, do you like working as an independent filmmaker, or do you plan on working for a big company someday?
So here's the thing. I wanted to work for when I came here, I wanted to be a director and work for a big studio, for a big company, but I didn't more think about it. I feel like, I just don't want to be. I see many people like trying to breaking themselves over, appealing towards the big studios and breaking themselves over like getting the money from them and all that. And it's too much hustle, too much stress, for nothing. Then you end up butchering your idea, butchering your script and all that for like, some people that, are financing, or some people that are higher ups in a studio, they wanted things to take it differently. You don't have that many creative control, and yet you're relying on them and stuff. Right. And so that's why I decided like I want to create my own company, and I want to, through film, I want to make my own money and make my own films. So by the time comes, I'll have enough money to finance my own films, and if it ends up on Netflix, great. If it doesn't. I just want to do what I like to do, and be successful in it, and that's about it.
And that's one thing I like about the industry as well, is that you really need that entrepreneur mindset. Yeah. Especially if you plan on working for yourself. You got to rely on your work ethic to make your own money, pay your bills.
No, exactly. And it's not just about film. It's about like, there's so much things you can do here. You can do real estate, you can do event organization, you can do everything. Like, real estate is really good, and I also want to indulge in that once I have enough capital, because that can bring a lot of passive income, which gives me freedom to finance my own films and make films.
Exactly.
So it's a win-win scenario. So that's my goal for now.
So a lot of people ask, what is the difference between a filmmaker and a content creator? Now, I have my own personal definition and meaning of that, but what are your thoughts? What separates a filmmaker, from a content creator?
Well, I think a filmmaker, filmmaker is a more glorified and prestige way of, visual storytelling. Right. Now, content creators can also visually storytell things. Right. But filmmaking is more of a craft of its own. Yeah. Like, I don't know, like, for example, and we have different martial arts, for example, in the fighting world, and what's the content creating is like boxing, while filmmaking is more like UFC, because it has a lot of different techniques from a lot of different aspects of visual storytelling put into one.
Exactly, like and filmmaking is exactly that. You're making movies, but there's so much out there, so much more you can do when it comes to creating video or taking photos.
Yeah, you can do vlogs, you can do content creation, you can do commercials, real estate videos, wedding videos,
So
like anything.
do you feel like there's a bigger market or niche for content creators or for filmmakers?
Oh, that's difficult because
More of a demand for filmmakers or content creators.
Oh.
Kind of the same thing.
Well, here's the thing. Unless you're like up there in filmmaking spectrum, unless you have connections, it's really hard to be financially successful in filmmaking and also be recognizable. Because right now, a lot of the smaller businesses, the big businesses, are demanding content creators to do their commercials, to talk in podcasts, sponsoring their products. Some videographers to cover their podcast, to cover their them talking, and to do like commercials and for the products and all that.
Yeah.
While a filmmaker can do that, but a traditional filmmaker is only focuses on like working on sets and films, like short films, indie films, even studio films. It's kind of like,
right.
Unless you're working there, it takes time to build a career in this city, and that's what's kind of hard, If you strictly want to do film, it'll take you like about 20, 30 years, maybe even less, sometimes like 10, to really build a career and become a union and stuff. So it's tough, like filmmaking stuff, and unless you like go out there and meet people and like have meet connections and develop relationships, business relationships, it's kind of hard, that's why. So content creating is more easier, I feel like, than filmmaking.
Yeah, and I think that's where we connect, is because we have the same interest in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
We've done a lot together.
Yeah.
We've made movies together as filmmakers, but then we've also had our own production company, and we still do things with producing and creating content as well. We've done it all from shooting commercials to promo videos.
To shooting girls too, naked girls, OnlyFans girls, and all that. Shh.
Then
you gonna cut that out?
yeah, there's a lot of models doing a lot of model photo shoots and stuff.
Yeah.
Brands, shooting things for brands. So anything photo and video related. You know? So we still do stuff like that once in a while. It's great. And now instead of like lately, I've used my content creating skills more for my personal brand than for, helping other people's brand. But if someone ever, is willing to pay the right amount of money, we could use our skills to do the work for those people.
And that's the thing in this industry. Like a lot of people like to say like, oh, if you're only in it for the money, you're not an artist. Well, it's very. Once you have the money, you can focus on the art. Like sometimes, like I'm here to, make money first, through anything that has visual, creativity in it. Like for example, filmmaking, video production, commercials, any kind of content creation, so I can make enough money, enough capital to actually do my art and to finance my art in the way I want to do it, and not relying on somebody else. Like I want to be very independent filmmaker and an author. So
exactly,
and it's a hustle in the city. I kind of feel sad because there's not a lot of people who they have so amazing visions and so much amazing stories, but they cannot do it because they just don't have enough resources to do it. And
yeah, and that's one reason I also started real estate. It's one of the best ways to make money, whether you're working as a realtor, a wholesaler, or an investor. And that money buys you freedom to pursue your passions and do whatever you want when it comes to creative work.
Exactly.
So I really love doing both, creating content and real estate. And then another passion of mine is, of course, freedom, and that's what doing real estate can buy you as well.
Right. And also, if you want to only strictly make movies and be in the strictly film industry, that's fine too. You can make money through that also by hustling on other sets, like doing AC work, grip work, gaffer work, producing work. You can hustle like that, and that's totally fine. I viewed myself in like more like spreading out. I want to try different things and see what works, what doesn't work. But if you still want to do only film, that's totally fine too. You can still make a great career out of it. And,
Now, since you're from Serbia and you had to come out here to go to school to America, what is the process with that for those people that are interested in coming to LA from another country?
Right.
When it comes to the visa situation and the O1 situation and all that other stuff, can you kind of offer advice or tell them the process of what it is and what they should do and what to expect when coming out here?
Well, what I had to do is first of all, you need to pass this kind of test. I don't know if different countries have different names for those tests. Like in my country, it was like TOEFL. You have to pass. You have to have a certain score for a certain college. Like for example, USC requires a higher score than like Santa Monica College.
Right.
Also, you need to pass an SAT test, which is everything. I mean, everything's gonna be written in English, so you really need to know English to pass, like the math test, the written test, and all that.
You also need a certain amount of money in the bank, right?
Yeah.
Proof of
Oh
funds,
my God.
stuff
Yeah.
like that.
That is crazy. Yeah. You need to, like, so basically, the embassy needs to see that you have, you know. So let's say your tuition is like 80 grand, right? The embassy needs to see that you have already an 80 grand in that bank account.
Yeah.
And also plus some extra money for living expenses and all that. The problem is because, for example, in my country, they only let you have a visa for 1 year. So if you continue paying that tuition, the embassy still requires you to showcase the proof of like 80, 90 grand on your bank account.
Right. And
to extend your visa. So it's kind of really hard, you know, it's really difficult, it's really hard, but, you know, if you really have the passion for it, you have the resources for it, you know, why not try it? Because, you know, there's a lot of opportunities in the city, and, you know, the city is crazy, and in some cases it's fucked up, but it's also like fun, and you can build a lot of connections. I'm a huge fan of like sci-fi dystopian films like Blade Runner, like the new one, what's the new one called? With Timothy, The Dune.
Okay.
The Dune's a really good film that I really like, and a couple other films that are simply require too much resources for me to do it there, for example. But with that being said, Serbia's film industry is really evolving really good.
It's getting bigger?
It's getting bigger, and most people like who are working with Netflix and all that are shooting there because the tax incentives are so good there, and everything's so cheap. The crew is so cheap, and like the hotel's so cheap, like the permitting, like it's so better than here. Like a short film that will cost you like here $5,000 will cost you there like what? It's $800. Like it's a big difference. So.
And, you know, there's a lot of movies on Netflix that are from you know European filmmakers and stuff. And those are really good films. You know, the market's not as big, but the movies that they do make are really good.
I know there's some really great international films like Parasite. Like I love Parasite. First of all, when there was Oscars happening, I didn't watch Parasite, and I was like, oh my God, this film won an Oscar for it, because I was wanted to Joker to win an Oscar because I really like that one. But once I watched Parasite, I'm like, this is a really amazing film. Like one of my favorite films is actually Parasite, and I really like the props to the director. Like a really amazing job.
Yeah. I agree. So you're how old now? 23?
23, yeah.
What do you think makes you stand out amongst your peers? Because you know, you hang out with me. I'm 35 now.
Yeah.
And you hang out with a lot of other people that are much older than you. And in my opinion, I think that's amazing, and I think that's great, because when I was also your age, I would, you know, also try to hang out with as many older people as possible. Because usually those people are a little more successful because they've had the time to do more things. I think what you're doing is great, but what do you think makes you stand out?
It's just a different outlook on life, you know, like every other 23-year-old, I love to party, like, you know, I like to have fun and all that. Of course. But, you know, there's a time when there's a work need to be done, you know, and it just like you need to balance yourself out, you know. Like when it's time to party, when it's time to work, you need to kind of slow down and focus more on work, so you get to party later on and have fun, you know.
That's true, and you and I are very alike when it comes to that. Everyone knows it's a work hard,
play hard lifestyle,
Exactly.
But seriously, and it's also like, you know, the mindset to it, you know. If you're not ready to sacrifice everything for your dreams and, you know, even your life, you know, like there's no point in doing it, because you really need to be willing to sacrifice a lot for your dreams, you know. And I think I'm willing to do that. So that's what, you know, kind of differs me from other people. But at the same time, a lot of other people, you know, made a lot of sacrifices, and, you know, I'm really looking forward to seeing their journeys unfold. But you also have to have a mindset like, what are you here exactly for? If you like party with your college peers all the fucking time, and you only hang out with college people and all that, like that's great, but you need to see like, what am I here for? Like, don't get distracted. Like, this is the biggest problem in this town, because there's so many distractions. Sometimes you kind of steer away, you know. Sometimes you go too much deep into like the party scene or a relationship scene, or like some other shit that you're doing. You get distracted from your true goal, you know. And your true mission in this life and purpose, and that's why you always need to have a clear vision. And sometimes that path might be foggy at times, but eventually it's going to clear up and you're going to see the light of the day again. So I think, definitely.
Yeah, and I really did like New York Film Academy. Everything I learned there was useful, you know. And as I was learning things, I was in the real world, putting it to use. Trying it out, learning as I go.
Yeah.
You know?
No, the school is great. The school is great for giving you that filmmaking experience, filmmaking knowledge. Like, you know how to use a camera, you know how to light properly a scene, you know how to block a scene properly, you know how to direct actors, you know. It's really useful. However, at the same time, like I said, it's like it doesn't teach you the hustle and, you know, how to make connections in this industry.
And when it comes to connections, the unfortunate thing about LA Film School, where I went for my bachelor's degree, or New York Film Academy for my master's, is like a lot of those students were international, and 99% of them that I graduated with ended up going back to their country. So I really couldn't rely on my network of friends while I was in school. I had to go outside of school and do things in the real world to really build relationships and stuff, and do it on my own. You know, because that's what this industry is based off of, those relationships that you have with people, right? And if you're going to school with a bunch of people that are leaving the country, that really puts you in a sticky situation. It kind of sucks. But
no, I agree, definitely.
So what is your 5-year plan?
My 5-year plan? Make money, fuck bitches, ayy! Just kidding, no. No, my 5-year plan, no. My 5-year plan is to, you know, make enough money where I can, you know, invest in certain things, like invest in Airbnb, invest in real estate, invest in different, you know, sometimes I want to also like dive into like crypto and NFT more, because I have like a lot of connections on that side that can also mentor me to get more involved in it.
Yeah.
But
so aside from filmmaking, there's
other venues, but yeah, mostly right now it's filmmaking. I want to still continue doing this film investment business I'm doing, you know, because, you know, I make a lot of connections through there. It can be very profitable. Also, you know, my 5-year plan is basically to have enough money where I can invest in the different aspects of it, so I can get enough freedom to actually do what I like to do, which is films. And, you know, have my visa situation more situated, and hopefully have the freedom to travel back and forth to Europe and here whenever I want to, basically. Yeah. And also some other things I have in plan during those 5 years, but we're gonna get to those later. Yeah.
Yeah. And do you feel like you've accomplished a lot more than your peers? You know,
I mean, it depends. Like, man, like I don't know. They're 20-year-old. They're killing way more than me. Like
some, and I think that all comes down to money.
It all comes down to money, and all comes down to like,
you know, there's a lot of, I think 99% of the people that you go to school with don't have as much experience as you, because I know since the moment we met, we have been going hard, like outside of work and for work, you know.
I mean, yeah, it's been going hard, and it really gets you a lot of experience. So that's what I'm saying. The most experience, like, is great when you go to school and the school teaches you, but the most experience you get is like hands-on, like being in there, you know.
And between LA and Vegas, we've done a lot with a lot of people.
Yeah, we've done it a lot. We've done really like with a lot of people, and I do really gain a lot of experience. But it all comes down. You have a lot of experience, but it all comes down to motivation, you know. Like even before I had that experience, it was all like, you need to be hungry for it, you know, you need to want it, because if you're not hungry for it, then there's no point. You're wasting your money. You're wasting your parents' money, and it's, you know, especially if you're an international student studying your BFA, it's like, I don't know.
How much longer do you have until you graduate?
I graduated like 2023 August.
Oh,
you know.
It's a while.
Yeah. Man, it's kind of tougher, because right now I'm for financing. Back in BFA, you know, my parents just helped me with tuition and other stuff, but now it's more falling on me because MFA and all that. Yeah. It's more serious, so it's kind of like, it's kind of tougher because of the COVID situation is what killed the industry. I mean, at least like I wanted to hustle there because that's when I graduated. So 1 year whole, I couldn't even find work. OPT was a big problem for me getting it. That's why I had to do masters. Yeah. Because they were not guaranteeing my OPT because, you know, of the COVID situation. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. I care about people who are in industry knowing me what I do. People who are not, I don't really care about fame and people knowing like, oh, that's Vex, he's the greatest, you know, director of all time. Like, I don't give a shit about that. It's like, it's the people who, you know, who matter in the industry that I want them to know me, because then I can work with them and actually create something with them and all that.
And for all of those watching and listening, you know, in LA, you've got to be a jack of all trades, or at least know how to do a few things that are within your career field, right?
I mean, you just need to be like, you just need to be on it, you know. You need to be like,
you've got to do so many things. You've got to be a hustler.
So many things. Yeah, you have to be a hustler because you never know. Like for example, let's say you have this amazing vision, amazing script that you want to do, but it costs like $30,000 to do it. You have the $30,000. Like how are you gonna do it? Okay, what am I good at? Okay, I did film school. Like I'm good at like cinematography. That means like okay, I know how to light properly. Okay, maybe like I can be like hustle, like do some music videos or real estate videos. I can do some photography for like some quick cash, and then you slowly get that quick cash and maybe invest in other stuff like Airbnb or some stuff, and like you get cash from there, and like other different like hustle jobs you do. You just continue growing cash until you can finance your film and do what you want to do. Right. Now, especially because rent is so fucking expensive in this town, and now gas and food prices crazy. Like
yeah, and recently you and Daniel were able to help find funding for a movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Can you kind of tell us a little bit about that experience?
Oh, it's tough, man. It's tough. Like you know, it's a very people's business. You know, you need to convince certain people that it's a right project, right fit for them, financially wise. So you need to provide them with a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff. Like going from minimum guarantees, like DMGs, to distribution deals, to like the script, budget top sheet, and all the other things that come into it. It's like really tough, but you know. We managed to do it. The project we're working on is a really amazing project, and we managed to raise about 500K for it. Right now we have some additional financing to raise, so we're working on that, but it's been an experience, you know. And not just that, like through this like process, I met a lot of people, a lot of good people, you know, who are very nice for like, you know, being friends, but also like very nice for doing business with. So it's like you get a lot of connections, and through those connections, you know, like is this movie gonna make money, and once this movie makes money, those investors are gonna be happy with it, and they're gonna want to invest in more projects. So it's all about building relationships, and I'm looking more into this for long term rather than short term. So yeah, it's going good for now, and yeah, we managed to raise a good amount of capital. So yeah, good.
What's been our best moment together when it comes to work?
Well,
we've done a lot.
Well, our best moment together.
I've said that a few times, but we really have done a lot.
I mean, Vegas. When it comes to work,
to making movies,
content. I really like the first movie we did, Reunited. I think that was really good. The experience we had there. It's my first filmmaking experience, like a real filmmaking. I really like that, you know.
Yeah.
I like that. You know, I mean, it's not the experience; it's the overall journey that we did. Is that I really like, you know.
And it came out great.
Yeah, it came like a lot of experience, and you know, I'm grateful for it. It came out really good, you know, a lot of connections and stuff.
Now that's our best work experience. What is our best fun experience? The most fun we've had.
All right, so
it's always Vegas.
It's always.
I mean, we have an amazing time in LA.
Yeah.
Every weekend.
Vegas holds a special heart. Vegas holds a special heart. Special place in my heart. That's what I meant to say. Yeah.
So what do you think? What's been the most fun we've had?
I mean, shit.
We've done so much.
I mean, from like the 4th of July party to like
the mansion party.
The mansion party.
That was like the 4th of July party.
Yeah, 4th of July party. Yeah. And then the Barbie mansion, and then the dollhouse, and you know, other like yacht parties, bunch of yacht parties, and then you know, influencer parties in the hills, Tony Tweeny's place, you know, Spearmint Rhino. Remember that time, Spearmint Rhino?
There's been a lot of great times.
Yeah.
How can people find you? So
on social media, I mean, I use mostly Instagram, Vex_D, that's my Instagram.
VexD.
Yeah, VexD. Right now, I just got credited for these couple films that I helped finance, so I'm right now working on my IMDb too. I used to have an IMDb, I just took it down until I polished it up, but right now, once it's polished, I'm gonna put it back up, so definitely you can find me there.
Also on Facebook? And
yeah, Facebook is my real name, Veljko, however you're gonna call it, and then my last name.
How do you say it? Veljko?
All right, my full name is Veljko Dronjak. So, you know, Veljko is my first name. My last name is Dronj.
See, I'm pretty sure the ladies are going to like it when you say that.
Veljko Dronjak.
Whoa.
With an accent, yeah, no. But yeah, definitely. Yeah. Cool. But no, Vegas has been crazy. And I know it's been crazy for you because you were promoting there for like, when you're my age. How was that, huh?
A lot of years.
Yeah, a lot of years.
When I was your age, yeah.
It was great, huh?
Yeah, I started in the nightlife industry after the military.
Yeah.
And then ran the nightlife scene for a lot of years. working for Tao Group, Pakistan Group, Light Group, all those amazing companies, you know, working at different pools, bars, lounges, nightclubs as a promoter, as a host. And then eventually I had a lot of friends that were in entertainment as well, so I got into entertainment out there and then, you know, wanted to do more, so I moved out here to LA 8 years ago.
Yeah.
To do bigger and better things.
Yeah.
And then get into real estate.
Real estate, yeah.
Yeah, which is the next venture.
Dun, dun, dun. The sequel, real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you also on TikTok and?
No, I mean I watch TikTok, but I'm not on TikTok now.
No. YouTube? No.
And Instagram for now, because I want to, like, I'm doing mostly like this film executive producing, film financing business, you know, so that's mostly like people skills. It doesn't require a lot of social media exposure. People who, you know, want to work with me and who want to work them, I give them my personal number, and Instagram is pretty much it. So, and an email too. So yeah.
Yeah. Now, what are your thoughts on getting a degree versus not getting a degree and just learning and growing through hands-on experience?
To be honest, if I was American, I wouldn't be doing a master, to be honest. It's a good thing. You refresh my memory in a lot of things, especially because I wasn't, my last few semesters when I was really going to shoot again, I wasn't shooting that much because of COVID. So I really have refreshed my memories on a lot of things when it comes to the production itself, like filmmaking, operating with a camera, with the lights and all that. So yeah, that was good. But aside from that, I don't know, man. Like, I just want to work and make money and, you know, make movies and make what I want to make, and that is to tell stories.
What are your thoughts on getting a degree versus just learning through hands-on experience?
You know, I mean, you know, degree is good. It teaches you a lot, but at the same time, it's not really necessary, you know, to do film, you know, just like Tarantino said, it's not necessary. For example, I wouldn't be doing, if I was an American citizen, I read my BFA, I want to work, and I want to make money, and I want to make art, you know, as a filmmaker. I just don't need MFA, even though it helped refresh my memory a lot, because during my BFA program, it was COVID, and I didn't shoot as much as I was supposed to, so it really refreshed my memory on how to, like, you know, operate a camera, how to use lights and all that, and, you know, that was all good, you know, but as far as, like, you know, what I want to do, I want to just work and be out there and make money.
And there's a lot of jobs, a lot of careers where a degree is necessary and should be mandatory. But the entertainment industry, depending on what you do, especially like filmmaking, it's not really necessary.
Yeah, if you want to be a doctor, get a degree by any means, you know. And you can still get it, if you want to get a degree, for filmmaking, do that too, you know. You just need to know, like, how do you want to use it. If you don't feel like using the degree to benefit you and to benefit your career, then don't do it, you know. Yeah. And as simple as that.
Yeah. And is there a plan B? You kind of mentioned that you have other things you want to do.
I mean, plan B.
But I don't think that is going to stop you from filmmaking as well. Like, you will do other things, but you also continue with filmmaking.
I mean, plan B. Well, plan B is like,
a lot of people say don't have a plan B. Stick to your plan A, and you'll never fail.
That is true. That is true. Yeah.
I mean, I take that back. You will fail, but don't quit. And eventually,
never quit. Never quit. Remember this. The comeback is always bigger than a setback. Right, Anthony?
And what I tell people a lot of times is that I've probably failed more times than most people have even tried.
Yeah, you get knocked down 10 times, you get up 11 times, you know?
Yeah, just gotta keep going.
Yeah, the door is always there, but you need to be the one to box through it.
That's pretty deep.
Yeah, I know.
That's powerful. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. Once again, thanks for tuning into the Tony Espo Show, and until next time.
All right, peace out.
Peace out.